What happens when a dog goes an entire year without grooming? At first glance, many people might imagine a slightly messy coat, a few tangles, or a pet that simply looks less polished than usual. The reality, however, is far more serious, and the consequences reach far beyond appearance. Today, we follow the remarkable story of a heavily neglected dog whose condition reveals what truly happens when routine grooming disappears from a pet's life for 12 long months. This journey is not only about fur and appearance, it is about comfort, health, dignity, and the silent ways animals communicate their suffering when they cannot speak for themselves. As the months pass without brushing, bathing, trimming, or proper coat maintenance, small knots begin forming deep within the fur. These tiny tangles may seem harmless at first, but they gradually tighten and spread, connecting with neighboring mats until large sections of the coat become fused together. What was once soft and protective fur slowly transforms into a dense layer that traps dirt, moisture, debris, and bacteria against the skin. The dog continues living each day beneath this growing burden, adapting to discomfort because there is no other choice. This is where the lessons shared by Dr. Karen Becker become especially meaningful. She often emphasizes that preventive care is one of the greatest gifts we can offer our animal companions. Grooming is not merely a cosmetic activity. It is a vital part of responsible pet care that allows owners to monitor skin health, identify hidden problems, and maintain a dog's physical and emotional well-being. As neglect continues, the coat becomes heavier and more restrictive. Every movement can pull against the skin. Walking, lying down, and even simple stretches may become increasingly uncomfortable. The mats begin acting like a tight fabric wrapped around the body, creating constant tension that the dog cannot escape. Underneath this tangled surface, the skin receives less airflow and becomes vulnerable to irritation. Moisture remains trapped for extended periods, creating conditions where infections can quietly develop. Yet perhaps the most troubling aspect of this process is how gradually it occurs. Day after day, the changes seem small. Week after week, the deterioration appears manageable. Month after month, the situation grows worse without attracting the urgency it deserves. By the time the full extent of the damage becomes visible, the dog may already be carrying an enormous physical and emotional burden. Looking at this neglected animal, it becomes clear that grooming is never just about maintaining a beautiful coat. It is about preserving quality of life. It is about recognizing that every brushstroke, every bath, and every moment of care contributes to an animal's comfort and happiness. The transformation that begins with a few unnoticed tangles serves as a powerful reminder that neglect rarely arrives all at once. Instead, it grows quietly in the background, hidden beneath the fur, waiting until the consequences can no longer be ignored. As the one-year no grooming challenge continues, the situation reaches a stage that many pet owners never fully imagine until they witness it firsthand. What began as a few neglected tangles has now evolved into a thick armor of matted fur covering large portions of the dog's body. From a distance, the coat may appear dense and protective, but beneath that surface lies a very different reality. The mats have become so tightly compacted that they pull continuously on the skin, creating pressure points that can affect every movement. Areas that should flex naturally now feel restricted. Places that should remain clean and ventilated become dark, damp environments where irritation can flourish unseen. The dog adapts the best it can, but adaptation should never be mistaken for comfort. Animals often endure difficult conditions quietly, making it easy for serious problems to remain hidden until they become impossible to ignore. This is the stage where suspense enters the story, because what cannot be seen is often more concerning than what appears on the surface. Beneath months of accumulated matting, there may be skin inflammation, hot spots, parasites, embedded debris, or wounds concealed by the tangled coat. Every groomer and veterinary professional understands the uncertainty that accompanies severe neglect. Until the mats are carefully removed, nobody can know the full extent of what has been trapped underneath for an entire year. Each pass of the grooming tools becomes a process of discovery. Every section that is cleared reveals another piece of the truth. Dr. Karen Becker frequently highlights the importance of early intervention because small issues are easier to address before they evolve into larger health concerns. This principle becomes dramatically clear in cases like this. What if a minor skin irritation developed months ago and remained hidden? What if moisture became trapped after rain or bathing and never properly dried? What if the dog had been carrying discomfort for far longer than anyone realized? These questions build a growing sense of anticipation as the transformation progresses. Slowly, the grooming process begins peeling away the evidence of prolonged neglect. Large sheets of compacted fur fall away, exposing skin that has not seen daylight or fresh air for months. The difference is astonishing. Areas that appeared bulky and oversized suddenly reveal the dog's true shape. The animal that seemed weighed down by an enormous coat begins to look lighter with every passing moment. Yet the greatest transformation is not visual. It is found in the subtle changes that emerge as physical burdens are removed. The dog begins moving more freely. Body language starts to soften. Eyes appear brighter and more engaged. There is a growing sense that relief is replacing discomfort. The suspense remains because the final outcome has not yet been fully revealed. But one lesson is already undeniable. Neglect does not happen in a single day, and recovery is not defined by appearance alone. It is measured by the restoration of comfort, mobility, and the quality of life every dog deserves. The final stage of this remarkable transformation reveals a truth that extends far beyond grooming itself. As the last sections of matted fur are removed and the dog's condition becomes fully visible, the results are both emotional and educational. What seemed like an ordinary case of an unkempt coat has proven to be a powerful demonstration of how everyday care shapes an animal's entire quality of life. Freed from the weight and restriction of months of neglect, the dog begins to display behaviors that were hidden beneath the burden of discomfort. Movements become more natural. Posture appears more relaxed. Simple activities that once required extra effort suddenly seem easier and more enjoyable. The change serves as a reminder that animals often communicate through actions rather than words. They may not tell us when something feels wrong, but their bodies and behaviors frequently reveal the story for those willing to pay attention. Throughout this journey, the lessons emphasized by Dr. Karen Becker become impossible to ignore. Consistent grooming is not about achieving perfection or maintaining a picture-perfect appearance. It is about prevention, observation, and compassion. Every grooming session provides an opportunity to detect changes in the skin, identify potential health concerns, remove debris, and ensure that the coat continues serving its natural protective purpose. Small efforts performed regularly can prevent enormous challenges from developing over time. The 1-year no grooming challenge demonstrates how quickly minor issues can accumulate when routine care is neglected. Yet it also highlights something equally important: the incredible resilience of animals. Despite carrying the physical consequences of prolonged neglect, this dog never stopped adapting, never stopped trying to live each day, and never stopped responding to kindness when it was finally offered. That resilience is inspiring, but it should never be used as an excuse to delay care. Instead, it should motivate us to provide the support our pets need before problems reach a critical stage. Looking at the before and after transformation, it is tempting to focus only on the dramatic visual difference. The tangled coat is gone. The dog appears cleaner, healthier, and more comfortable. But the deeper lesson lies beneath the surface. Responsible pet ownership is built upon consistency. It is found in the small actions repeated week after week and month after month. A few minutes of brushing, a scheduled grooming appointment, or a simple wellness check can make an extraordinary difference over the course of a year. The story you have witnessed today is not merely about neglect and recovery. It is about awareness, responsibility, and the bond we share with the animals who depend on us. Their well-being is shaped by the choices we make every day. When we choose attentive care, we give them comfort. When we choose consistency, we protect their health. And when we choose compassion, we honor the trust they place in us throughout their lives. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.